Hello everyone, nice to meet you. I'm very new to writing on this subreddit, so I hope I'm doing this right. I didn't even realize this was malicious compliance until recently. Note, I will of course be changing names for privacy's sake. First things first, the backstory: I work at large hub facility of a well-known shipping company as a package handler. Essentially, it's our job to handle the packages, as the name implies, pulling them off trucks, sorting them out, and putting them on new trucks depending on where we're put in the facility. I work with the main delivery trucks that deliver packages to homes and smaller businesses. The packages come with barcodes on the side as well as small spot labels that allow someone to see the address, which part of the facility they go to, and which truck they are to be put on. We used to be given small scanners that would scan the barcodes in order to ensure we didn't put the packages on the wrong trucks or get a package that didn't belong in our area, as sometimes the labels could be wrong due to human/technically errors, or a package might lose its label. The trucks are even fitted with sensors, so if you scan a package and try to walk into a truck where it doesn't belong, the scanner would start to whine. With that set up, now enters our main antagonist in this story, Alien, my former supervisor. Alien is a short skinny guy with a thin mustache and is a micromanager of the highest degree. He always walked up and down the trucks to watch us work, watched us from a distance or close by with his arms crossed to get us to work faster, constantly told us to grab all of our packages as they come to us despite the fact they go around on a moving conveyor belt that literally loops them back if we miss them, told us to load up our larger packages as soon as we get them despite the fact it makes it harder to move through the trucks and place other packages on the shelves, and even hopped into some people's trucks to move packages around the right way, his way. I can go on and on about Alien, but today I'm here to vent about just one of these events, or we would be here all day. So anyways, Alien had me and all the other packages handlers of our area in a group texting chat in order to tell us our start times for our next shift as well as compare our work speeds to each other via our scanning count. I assume to make us feel bad and work harder, but we don't really care. Around that time, the number of packages we misloaded onto our trucks, as we call it, had increased, and ever since Alien had been adding to his group messages that we need to scan every package and make sure we are aiming for 0 misleads. Annoying, but nothing too serious, at least I thought. On to the actual story portion. So, one day, I'm working on belt as usual and my scanner suddenly decided to screw up on my, as they tend to do if smacked or if the battery comes loose. I go to Alien and ask him if he could help me fix it or give me a new one to use. Instead, he takes it and tells me to keep loading my trucks without the scanner and just use the labels on the packages. This isn't really allowed, and instead I chose to stack the packages in front of the trucks so I can scan them once I get a new scanner. Alien eventually comes down and tells me to just load them into the trucks normally and to stop stacking. Frustrating, but I shrug and do it to try and avoid any real conflict. That evening, Alien messages the group and lists out our speeds with me at the bottom and is once again spouting on that we need to make sure we are scanning our packages before loading them, and even comes to talk to me the next day about my number of misleads. I'm angry, of course, as he is the one to tell me, but at that point I was still fairly new to the job and didn't feel comfortable arguing with the supervisor, so I just try to continue on with my work with a mental note of always scanning my packages no matter what, so he can't pull this again, unaware that this will be my malicious compliance later on. Fast forward a few months later. Alien is leaving for real estate and is training one of the package handlers to be his replacement before he leaves. By that time I am fed up with all the micromanaging and pestering, and can't wait for him to be gone. It's about the final week of his employment that I'm working the belt, and once again my scanner brigs up and stops working. I hand it over to Alien once again, and just like before, as if he has never cared about scanning, he tells me to keep loading the trucks. I smile to myself and nod. So I continue, stacking my packages in front of my trucks, waiting for that new scanner to arrive. Not long after, Alien comes back with the trainee at his side. He asks me what I'm doing and I tell him I am stacking my packages. Once more, he tells me to keep loading my trucks, and this time I talk back, telling him I'm not loading them without a scanner. I have to admit, at this time, I was done with Alien and let my anger get the better of me, raising my voice and getting a bit shaky as I have a very hard time dealing with anger, especially after dealing with his T for so long. The trainee tries to settle the situation and tell me to just keep stacking and they all get a scanner right away, but is interrupted by Alien telling me once again to load my trucks, this time louder. I flatly respond no, and thus it goes back and forth like this for nearly half a minute before I eventually tell him to get it to me in writing because I'm not getting fired over this. Remember, we are not supposed to load a package without scanning it, and can indeed get in trouble if they can prove we sus it intentionally. This seems to get him even more mad and he eventually tries to pull the head supervisor card. He asks me if I would like him to go get the head supervisor to try and intimidate me, I guess. I wasn't able to chuckle in my anger and just told him to go ahead and get him. Him and the trainee walk off with him storming down the belt. A few minutes later, the trainee comes back with a scanner in hand, apologizing and telling me to just get back to work. I didn't see Alien for the rest of the day, and if memory serves, the rest of his final week as well. Sorry if it's not as explosive as some of the other posts, but this was just my first real malicious compliance and I hope you enjoyed the read all the same. And to any supervisors reading this, please just let us do our freaking jobs.